everyone, and welcome back to the desk with me, Alex, at the desk. And here I've got this thing dangling in my face, but I've got some coaches. So, yeah, early coaches. We're going to look at these at the desk. Yes, so before I turn the camera around, or rather put it up here, I have got, so basically this is my blue rocket coach that I got for £16 new when it was announced. Rather, I got it much later after it was announced from a site that respected the original price. And I improved it by doing what Hornby for some reason didn't do, which was to fit L&MR pockets to it. Now, Hornby easily could have put L&MR pockets on this model in the blue of the plastic there is. So you had the choice to put couplings on, but they didn't. And I've added weight because it's far too light. I know it has to be light for things like rocket to pull, but it is way too light. So and the steps bend very easily, and yeah. So anyways, it's fragile, it's light. I've improved it by adding some weight and couplings, but I've got another one here, which I got on eBay, I think, for even cheaper. It was only about £14. So it'll be interesting to see how they compare. Still, whether they look the same or whether there's a slight difference in, say, one's produced better, because they are very fine. But also, I'm going to see if I can put couplings on and show you doing it. I don't know if I've got any weights to add to it. That could be a problem. It says on the bottom, the National Railway Museum. It's not called that anymore, is it? It's just called the Railway Museum. 300 years of British railway history. Well, so we've got that. And then my friend Larry bought me, I think for Christmas last year, this, which is the Bachmann Classic Collector Series, The Prussian. And it's a coach that I've known about for a long time. I used to have one, a friend used to have one. And I was always like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool to convert to run with my stuff. So I've got that to look at. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get these open and have a look. So yes, here we are down at the desk. And so I've got, that's the one that we've got there already done. And we're going to open up this. This is the R40141 L&MR third class open coach from the Railway Museum. So, although it does have just the new Railway Museum branding there, so it's funny that it says the National Railway Museum at the bottom. I suppose one's their logo and one's written by Hornby. I think it was better when it was referred to the old way, but... And we have Hornby's fiddly couplings here. They're going to go into my Era 1 stock box O. Okay, one of them is because the other one has decided it doesn't want to be here anymore and has disappeared. Why? That's stupid. It's where the tape pulled off. The bag is open. It's not sealed. It's sealed on two sides, but not there. Right. Okay. Well, I suppose it came from eBay, so it's used. But oh, look at this! Another set of couplings. So I still have enough, even though I don't use them. That's very funny. But yeah, I'm gonna put that one in there. So now we have 3 in there. Very fiddly, these couplings. Yeah. Right. Okay, let's get these two side by side. We can have a look. This is the side here. And yeah, I'd say that it's a fairly consistent quality. You know, you can see the difference between the changed and the unchanged. So that should be good to get to work on. And then we have, so put that over there, we have the Prussian. So on the back here, you've got the John Bull, the Dewitt Clinton, and the Orient Express. And I would really like the Orient Express because that looks super cool. But the coach that we have on here is not mentioned. So I know that Sam's Trains does a video, I think, about John Bull. He's just done a video about the Dewitt Clinton. So, but this is the Prussian. And I don't really know anything about it other than it was in a set. And it's funny because it's in this big old box, but actually there's just a big hollow bit of card underneath it. There we are. I mean, it wasn't even hung up. I've still got the thing there. I don't know. Probably don't need the box anymore. Oh, that's a snug fit. It's such a small coach. I mean, it's weird because I thought this was going to be like metal, but it's like really light plastic. That's really weird. It's not what I was expecting at all, and it's quite clearly because it's HO scale going to be a coach for some very short people, perhaps some elves at Christmas. So we have a peg coupling system here. I don't know what the height's going to be like for this. I'd say I might have a bit of trouble getting this to couple to things because of that, but it will couple to the back of there, but it's not a good system. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Whether I cut out a section here and then glue the pockets on, I don't know. So I'm going to get my pockets out now. So we can start with the blue coach, and I've got some glue. It's not super glue, it's that Loctite gel, and I'm hoping it'll be all right. I just want to check here. We've got the right there because it's going to go on there. I could take the coupling out and then glue it on. Let's glue there and glue on our box, and we just pop that there so that the front of that is in line with the original style of coupling that this coach has. I want it in the center as much as possible. So that's it. And then we're going to take off another one of these and we're going to pop it on the other side of glue. The glue's leaked out of that. So we're going to pop that just straight onto there, I'd say. And then I'll move it over. Sorry, if the whole thing's been out of focus, that'd be really annoying. But losing it there. Come back, you. There we go. Come on. Point to the edge of that. Right, I'd say that's probably as good as we're going to get there. Now we have to figure out what to do about this. So the end where we have these meeting up to bring you down, we're going to have some trouble because it needs to be below that level. So what I might do is cut a section of this piece out here. Sorry, camera's gone wrong. Where the pin is, and then attach our thing. So I've got my disc cutter here. Right, that's one end done, and I'll just. It doesn't look too bad. It's not probably, the lighting in here is terrible. It's pretty dark today. It's just a little bit of stuff to come off there. Do the other end. I have a tiny screwdriver to undo a tiny screw. glue or something, stringy glue stuck to that. There we are. Take that out of there. Check out the old spares box. Once again, we can go at this. It's a bit rough at that end than the other end, but generally it's come out all right. Let's see now, that'll be the right height anyways. And you won't really notice when it's coupled in the train that there's any sort of stuff. If I hold this at the right height to this coach here, it should be fine. Might be a little bit low, but as long as you've got both coupling hooks, it should be fine. So let's just see now. Should be able to lie that across the gap there. So we're going to put this glue on here and here. And I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to pop that out. And I'm going to pop that there. And make sure it is in the center. Then glue there, glue there. Take the other coupling, and we're going to pop that pocket on there, like that. And hopefully this will work out well. So we'll have to leave those to dry, and I'll come back to them when they have dried and we can attempt to see if they'll couple up, and then whether we can add some weight, although I don't know if I actually have anything to do that with. So yeah, we'll be right back. Well, the glue is dry, and one thing about this glue which is really weird, this Loctite Super Power Gel glue, is that it just turns everything white as it dries. It's not done it on the bodies though, in the visible areas, so it's pretty good. So as you can see, I've got my NEM pockets attached to the undersides of these, and now we can hopefully just plop these things back in, and they won't come off, and they'll just work, hopefully. Yeah, that's one. And it's a very smart looking coach, that. A little basic perhaps on the detail, but I think it looks pretty cool. It's got these steps as well. I'll do another close up now that we've done that. So it's got these nice sort of footsteps, and it's got a second and first class on it. And yeah, you can see there's sort of screws there to undo the body. Maybe another time I could do it, but it's a very dark coach on the inside. I'm not sure it would benefit from the time being spent on it to put people inside it. But yes, we can now check whether this is the right height. If I check in my desk, I should have that nice bit of Timu bridge track. Pop those onto that. So we've got our coach there and our coach there. He's a little high on the blue coach side, or rather he's a little low, but I think that's all right. I could always get a stepped coupling maybe to slot into it, into the L&MR pockets, but I think it looks right. We'll take it up now to the other part of the track up there. So we'll just pop them up here. So this is the one with the weight, and then we've got, I'll put the other blue one next to that one. That's the one that doesn't have the weight in it. You can feel the difference when you're rolling them between the light one and the one that has a slight bit of weight. And then we've got this one here. The wheels on this are a bit stiff, to be honest, on the Prussian one. I wonder why that is. Are they just out of gauge? I mean, that one spins. It's a little bit better. Maybe it just needs some running in. Again, it's quite light, so with this one at least you could probably put weight inside it without it becoming too noticeable. If I could put a little bit of oil on that. Sorry for if there's been a bit of it bouncing around there. I have my phone plugged into charge while it's in the hanging yoke thing, and it's yeah, that's a lot better now. It's not quite so stiff. It's not exactly free rolling. It's better than it was, and with the momentum of the other coaches it's a bit better too. So that seems to work pretty well. Yes, that's where we're going to leave this episode of Alex at the Desk. As you can see, I've got them there with couplings that now work, and I think it's great. And I really do love the sort of the Hornby era 1 stuff. So what I will need to do at some point is to add in a bit of weight. I've had a look. I don't have the right sort of weight. I think I used an N-gauge weight for a long wheelbase wagon to slide underneath where these are. There's actually 2 of them there. So that's a job for the future. And what I'd like is to get some like people that look like they would have travelled in these coaches with wrap. And but other than that, no, I think it looks like a nice little train there. And I've got some rocket coaches as well, other size ones. Maybe I'd have like, say, a passenger train and then also be able to run a goods train because I have the Sam's trains, goods wagons. But yeah, I think that's worked exactly how I wanted it to. So yeah, anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'm sure I'll join you again at the desk for another time. I've got to work on Midquick Town soon, hopefully, and get the rest of the platform done as we get closer to Christmas. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. You've been a wonderful audience. Hope I've been a wonderful Alex, and we'll see you again very soon. Don't forget you can like, comment, share, and subscribe. Although I'm being a bit slow with the replying to comments. And you can also use the subscribe bubble in the playlisting. But for now, I'm off. Ta-ra.